Hey everybody, today we're going to do a shop tour of Rahal, Letterman, Lanningan Racing right here in Brownsburg. This venue, or this facility, we have had for, probably since 2012 when the team moved over here. I was at the time driving for a different team, but the team came over here with the new body, the new cars, and Takuma was our first driver. And that was right here in this facility, and then we've kind of added on. So as we go through here, you're going to see it's pretty expansive. The interesting part about this is our landlord is actually my father-in-law. So this is good brownie points for us that we're based here. But anyway, this is Beverly right here. Beverly, she's so excited. She has been a huge part of my life, and I'm not just saying that. When did I first meet you? 1992. I was 3 years old, 1992. Bob Rahal won the championship in 1992. But as you can see here in our lobby, we have a lot of our old trophies, some of the new ones, some that Takuma added this year. Probably my favorites over here in the corner, which is from Mid-Ohio, 2015. The greatest day of my life other than when I got married. So you can tell I'm married because I'm programmed to say that now. And then the old Honda Indy V8 from when things very first started with my dad. It's pretty cool that we have this. Had that for, since back then, what, 93, 94, something like that. So anyway, as we go on through here, we'll take you guys back. First stop, you're gonna have to follow with us, it's pretty long. First stop here is the truck bays. So normally most of the trucks are in here, not all of ours. As you guys have seen, we did the Hendrickson tour of that truck. So that truck normally is on the other end. But over here we're gonna have the two trucks, the 30 truck and the 15 normally. As you can see, spare wheels, tires, all the parts and pieces that go into this. The truckies spend a ton of time on things like the fuel rigs and trying to find some speed and fueling and everything else that we kind of can have our hands on, which is a little more limited nowadays. We'll walk on in here. Stewie, what's up, Hayden? All right, I'm giving a tour. So this is the combination here. We've got all of our shock builds. Stu and Hayden kind of, number one, build and assemble as well as develop here. This is a single post rig. We also, in Columbus at our other shop, have a similar place that has a little bit more, probably a little more capability than here. So we can kind of go back and forth and do all of that. Then as well in here is a lot of our electronics. It's not that full in here right now, actually. But typically all the steering wheels are done in here. Any development that we do on that, some of the 3D printing, all of that stuff will all happen in here. So guys are a little bit spread out. I mean, in the wintertime, frankly, electronics-wise from last year to next, there's not that many changes. So really, I don't think that we're going to see a ton. If anything, without the LED number panels and stuff, it's been simplified a little. So that's why it's a little quiet. One of the big development pieces, one of the things we're trying to work on this winter is the batteries. What reminded me of it was seeing one of them here. But obviously we had a battery fail at Barber last year. I know Dixon had a battery fail. One of the coin cars had a battery fail. So this has become a common issue that we need to find the root of the cause and try to fix that. All right, so now we're gonna do, so basically we're on the ground floor. Now we're gonna go up and across, and then we'll start this whole thing all over again. So let's go upstairs. Hey, doing a shop tour so I can introduce you, put you right on the spot. So anyway, over here in the corner is Dad's and Piers' office. Dad's not here very often. So, and then, clearly in here, conference room, we spend a lot of our time. When we do engineering meetings or debriefs, like we're gonna be doing over the next few days, all of that will happen right in here. And then here's all the nerds. Doing a shop tour, guys. Everybody say hi. Eddie, act like you're excited to see everybody. Here, this one right here, this is the king nerd. This one. He likes to play with his 3D printers and make cool stuff. What are you making right now? Oh, he's looking at squiggly lines. Squiggly lines. Looks fun. One of the cool things from up here, though, is get a really good view of all the cars. Typically on the left-hand side as you look out are going to be my cars, and then on the right are normally Takumas. So we'll go through that in a minute, but it seems like a couple of cars are out getting some work done right now. Some are probably getting, we can see, and I'll show you, this first car on the left here is the only one that's kind of somewhat set up and prepared for the aero screen. So we'll get to see a little bit more of that. Kev, how you doing? All right. All right. Squirrel.
Hey, Pela, how are you?
Say hi, I'm doing a shop tour. What's happening? You good?
Never better.
All right. I'll be back. I'll see you in a minute. Yeah, so now we're down kind of on the shop floor. So this kind of, it works seamlessly. That was the truck bay right over there that we were in before. So if you just come through the double doors and you enter the shop floor here. As I said, typically, you know, the 30 car bays are on this side and then 15s on this side. So some of these cars might be out at different projects or prep. What's up, Hop? So this one's the most prepared that we have for the new aero screen. So let's see, chassis 23 won some races in this one. As you can see, this is where it'll all bolt onto. It's missing the center piece here, but you do see some of the new changes that are bonded onto this. There's actually quite a lot of airflow that gets through here. It comes right up through the center piece into the cockpit, which is good. But you know, basically, I don't want to call it the halo, but a similar piece will mount here, and then the aero screen goes around. It does work pretty well. It bolts into these areas. It's visually, it looks good from inside of the car. I have not run it in anger on a track yet, but you know, so far I've been pretty pleased with, you know, what we've seen. So typically at our team, whatever car, as most people who are watching this probably know, is, we do change car colors and schemes a lot. We're taking down to 15 cars. So normally whatever it's going to be will be hung up here. So, you know, 23 car, you know, and then obviously that was Laguna Seca. So that was the prime there. And then as we go down, it might change based on, you know, what if it's like 3 in a row and we're running 2 different colors or something, you'll always have a spare, but then one of the other one's always going to be, you know, alternating into a different scheme. So that keeps these guys plenty busy for sure with everything we got going on. So again, as we shuffle through here, you know, this is all bodywork. So I said that one of the cars was missing. Well, you can see it down there. I don't want to get too close because these are some of your speed secrets for Indy and everything else. But you can see it down there getting prepped and ready. Now normally whatever car is on the rack, so look, 15 car, 23 chassis, right? Which was the chassis we just saw. This is the under tray off of it. Those are the body panels and everything else. So each rack would be assigned to a chassis, and as you go down, it makes it pretty seamless so that it's all organized and easy for the guys to understand what's going where. We can do some carbon prep and fix here. Typically on wings and stuff like that, if we damage them too badly, they've got to go out to Aerodyne or one of you know, Indy Composite or somebody to get fixed. But we can do the basics right here. I'll take you on in here into the gearbox room in a second, but you know, obviously when it comes to crack checking and everything else, we do all of that in-house. Parts washer tanks, REM systems, everything else. We do everything that we can here. What's up, Mark? Hey. What's happening? Oh, this is my next tour spot. Squirrel, you're following me. So in here normally, the guys do everything. Obviously those are uprights and prepped for that. We've got the brakes, which are really important because we have found while the newer setups with PFC are much more consistent, the old Brembo setups were not. And so it was very hard. You had to match the rotors and the pads and everything to get it just perfect, you know, to make sure that everything was aligned and going to work well. So they do a lot of that here. And then obviously on this corner, we have gearbox preparation. So clearly one of the biggest things that we do for Indy and to find speed is gearboxes. That's what a lot of teams mess around with, try to find some pace out of that, find less friction, less drag and straight line speed. So that's extremely important. All right, let's keep moving on. And obviously, like when we go over everything, we're kind of just on the surface, right? Because a lot of the little tricks of the trade happen within these walls. And so, you know, you try to be pretty quiet about what we're doing. Every other team is. That's why people in this industry, your personnel is so valuable, because number one, it's easy to lose them. Good people are going to be, you know, demanded. Everybody's going to want them at different teams. Number two, there's so much knowledge that people carry. You know, a guy from here might go off somewhere else, have our setup sheets, or at least in their mind a good concept of it and everything else. That's difficult for us. So, you know, good personnel we try to keep locked down. We're very fortunate here at RLL. We really don't have a lot of turnover. For fans that have seen us over the years, it's probably the same guys you see all the time, and we try to keep it that way. We really don't like a lot of turnover. So on this side now, we're getting to, you know, obviously you see a massive flat plate right here. This is like 100% flat. Obviously it helps us measure things. You can put a chassis on here, see if it's bent, see anything. So that's a really important. And then, you know, down on the end, we've got some fabrication capabilities here. Again, you know, where we're a little bit unique is that we still have the shop in Columbus, Ohio, and that shop can also, is very large and has the ability to literally do anything and everything. So, you know, we kind of bounce back and forth off of each other, what we do here as well as what can get done. A lot of our machine work and everything else is done in Columbus. In Columbus, from over all of the years, we have all the CNC mills, we've got everything else. Columbus, really, there's no end or no limit to what we can do over there. So eventually, everything's gonna be coming here to Indianapolis. I believe that we're gonna build a shop and have everything in one, you know, beautiful new location. But right now we're still split. Actually, our BMW sports car team's still over there. The Mobile Tradition program's still over there. So we're a little bit split. So now at this end, you know, it's really just kind of a pretty large sort of warehouse. You know, we do have the Hendrickson truck trailer is parked here, and I know everybody was a big fan of that video. Got a lot of views to see how we go about the engineering side over here. And then right here, we have, you know, basically a pit lane setup. So we had to scuff up the ground a little bit versus the high polish, so there's a little bit of traction. We've built basically a wall. We've got a pit stop dummy, and then the guys can literally do everything in here. For a long time, we had an electric car that would actually drive itself, or, you know, it would drive in, and then the guy would hit the brakes, hit your marks, and then the crew would be able to do their pit stop, you know, practice and everything right here. So, but this is extremely important. This is important to what we do, important to the speed of the team and the performance of the team. So a lot of that is housed right in here. Then in all the front offices, we're not going to go through there because that's all financial stuff. You don't want to deal with that. Finances are not fun. The accounting people, as long as the paychecks come through, we just leave them alone. But in essence, that's it. It's quite a lot. It's a big place. We actually, when we first started here, started with only the first truck bays I showed you and where the race cars are. We had nothing else. And in the end, we punched this hole pretty much all the way through. And if you look down, you can see all the way down to where the truck bays are. And so now we pretty much have the entire thing, which is definitely pretty cool. It's a good shop for us. And between here and Columbus, we can do anything and everything, and we continue to develop. You know, with spin rigs, for gearboxes, for uprights, for diffs, for everything. You know, we can all do that right here in house, which is pretty cool. Not a lot of teams have that capability, and we're excited to see it continue to expand and grow.